I think you can sense the line.
Time to talk diving. Diving coach Julie Weddle and RMAC Divers of the Year, Kenya Meyer and Wyatt Hermanson. Coach, a few weeks ago, the RMAC Championships kind of start there. A very successful weekend and week for your team, winning all 4 events. I think 11 out of the 12 medals, and getting some extra national qualifiers.
Yeah, they did really well. So they put in the hard work and it showed off, and they all fed off of each other, and it was a really good time. They put on some really great performances. So I'm really proud of them.
Kenya, you were able to win both events this year after splitting those with your teammate a year ago, and including smashing some records on the 3-meter. How exciting was the whole meet, but especially that event for you?
It was super exciting. It's always such a fun meet. It's fun to just be like surrounded by teammates. And I always think like, oh, I'll be happy, like, for whoever wins. But then I always get there and I'm like, I want to win. I would be happy for them, but I always want to win. So it was really, it was fun to just have a good time and show off and do well with everyone else.
Wyatt, kind of same question for you, able to get one win and a part of a Maverick sweep and the other. Kind of what was the inter-squad rivalry there going on with you and the other guys, and kind of how that feel to just be special and kind of share the top spots?
Yeah, it's really nice. As you know, I shared the Diver of the Meet award with Ryan, and he's also my roommate. So we definitely bring I wouldn't call it like rivalry. We bring the competition home for sure. We like to chat a little bit. And so it was really fun to get to the pool and, for us to be going back and forth. And then Jax as well, to see him back on the 3-meter and to still be put in the dives and get in second place. And I don't know, just a really positive mindset that we were all in. We were all confident. We all believed in each other. We all believed in ourselves. And we're ready for next week.
Julie, you had some of your divers qualified earlier in the season, but the roster for nationals definitely grew the last couple of weeks with RMAC and the last chance meet. How exciting was that for you to kind of see the development, not only at the top, but the depth of the roster and getting so many extra people going to Indy?
Yeah, well, it's like I tell them, like, you don't want to peak too soon. So it's great to see them making their achievements and everyone getting better, not just individually, but as a whole team. So they feed off each other. And I want them to have that fun rival competition because that makes them better. So they're all, all around a great squad, and they keep pushing each other. Even today, at practice, they keep pushing each other. They keep cheering for each other, and they're ready for next week. So I'm excited for them to show what they got next week.
For the divers, your sport kind of interesting, uniquely formatted in that you're going to nationals, but not yet officially. What is that kind of mindset of what's known as Black Tuesday and kind of how that day goes? And
okay, we're changing it to
now?
Super Tuesday.
Super Tuesday. All
Black
right.
Tuesdays no more.
There we go. Like, what's that kind of interesting dynamic and kind of that pressure of being there and getting in, but you're there, just kind of unique situation.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's nerve-wracking. It's hard to be excited until it's like final that you're in. And I am just craving that excitement. The past couple of years, I've come really close. So I'm just looking at this year as I got unfinished business, and we got things to show in Indy. So I'm very excited, but nervous, but mostly excited.
My experience, I went my freshman year when I was there. I had a good meet, but more than anything, I just did my best to stay focused on myself. And regardless of how the meet was going, I tried to stay positive that, at least I made it there. I stayed in the moment, regathered myself whenever I missed a dive or whatever. And I'm really excited. It's a gruesome meet. It's definitely mentally taxing, but it's exciting, especially you make it through, you definitely feel the energy after that, and I'm pumped.
So what can you draw on from previous Super Tuesdays experience to get you through this year, and so you can be selfish and qualify in both?
I would think just staying in the moment, not letting one thing that didn't go your way, not letting it spiral, just staying like one dive at a time. Like maybe your first dive wasn't the best. Well, you got 5 more. So per board. So I think just staying in the moment and honestly just enjoying it and remembering that this is what we've been doing all year. Just another day, So
I think it's just important to remember that I can't control how other people dive. I can only control how I dive. So whether that's that I'm diving out of my mind or whether I'm not having a good day, I have to just focus on what's coming next. Like she said, 6 dives to do, focus on them one at a time. So, maybe my first 2 dives are great. My third one's not so great. Well, by the time I'm up there for my 4th dive, I already forgot what happened on my 3rd dive, just one dive at a time and just only control the things that you can control. Don't get frustrated over the things that you can't.
So, Coach, how do you kind of help them mentally get out of their own heads so they can perform? Because
Right.
it's nerve-wracking.
Well, each of them they're coached differently. There's some that you have to be a little more stern with. And then there's some that are a little more fragile, but they all have the tools, whether it's visualization, whether if it's a drill for one particular dive. Sometimes they just need a little bit of, reminding what that could be. Sometimes I have to tell them, take a deep breath, because they've gotten so worked up because they want it so bad. And that's not a bad thing. You want them to want it and to have that drive. But then there's a fine line of, crossing over and just being too exerted for it. So we've done a lot of visualization training with them. And I think they're ready. I'm really excited for next week.
Is there a dive each of you has that, hey, it's in my hip pocket and I can hit it every single time? And where in the program do you like to put that in?
For me, I'd say it's the same dive on both boards. It's just 105B, which is it's a front 2.5 in pike, and both boards 1 meter and 3 meter. For me, that's my money dive. I'm upset if I don't get like 7s on that dive. So it's not a high difficulty dive, but it's definitely, you still can't baby the dive either. But it's my first dive of the meet. I like to start strong, start with something I know I can hit good and give myself some momentum going in.
Well, thinking about this now, I'm looking at how I put my dives, and it's always different. But I do as well do one of the same dives on both 1 meter and 3 meter, and I do a back 1.5 twist. And so on 3 meter, I like to do that one first because I know I can do it. So we can start off on a good note. But I do it last on 1 meter so I can end on a good note. I don't know. That's how it works.
The judge is something to remember.
Yeah.
So going to nationals, ladies last year, I believe you guys also placed second because swim and dive scores are combined, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you guys, is there extra pressure to try to just break that seal? And then for you guys, are you feeling like you're trying to chase the ladies or more so jump in after them?
At least for me and the guys that I've talked to about it, I wouldn't consider it that we're chasing them, but we're chasing our own potential. We know what we're capable of. We know what we can do. And we don't necessarily feel that maybe we haven't quite reached that potential. We know that there's more we can do. And that's what the goal of next week is, to prove what we can do and what we are capable of.
I think as far as the women's team, like we're hungry. We are very we were so close. And so I think it's just like, and we kind of know it's in reach. So we're like, just going to lay it all out and see what happens. And I would love as a dive team to contribute to that success and really help out, because not a lot of the top programs have divers. So we might have that edge.
This year's format a little different in the sense of the swimming relay is actually going to be before diving qualification is over. Can you kind of feed off each other on day one there with with the swimmers and kind of get the vibes going early with both of you competing on that same day?
Yeah, I think it's a whole team, and we've done a really good job this year of swimmers supporting us and divers supporting them. And so we'll definitely, feed off of that. Divers actually will start first in the morning. So it'll, if we're going to do what I think we're going to do, we're going to set that standard high, and that energy is going to be high. And I think that's going to help the, swimmers get off on the right foot. And I'm looking forward to them contributing. And, they've stepped up a lot this year. And, I'm just ready for them to show everybody else what I know that they're capable of.
Question of the week, kind of off topic. A obscure or rare food that you may have eaten sometime in your life, and a little bit of a backstory or history of how that came to be.
I don't think you either.
Oh, yeah.
I got this. I like a year or two ago, I was at a Mexican restaurant and I saw cow tongue tacos was on there, and I was like, you know what? I just want to try that. And I like an honest review, like it tasted pretty good, but then when I thought about a tongue on my tongue, that's when things got a little interesting. So take with that what you will.
I have had Rocky Mountain oysters. If you know what those are, you know. If not, I'm not gonna go there. And I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty good. They were chewy, but they were pretty good.
I do want to try those at some point.
So what was the backstory behind it?
So I grew up in North Dakota, and everyone's farmers and horse ranchers, and that's all my family is. And so I've had almost every animal you can think of, and that was just one of the only things I hadn't had. And my grandpa just ordered some for me, and he was like, "You're trying them," and I was like, "All right." So I tried them.
I'm actually very vanilla. I do not try stuff unless I know, and because I don't want to waste money or waste time with it. So I'm very, just ordinary and vanilla when it comes to food. So sorry.
That's all right. All right. Well, thank you. Congrats on the RMAC success, and good luck next week.
Thank you.